Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about economics and crypto and lots of other fun things. In today's video, I am going to give you an outlook, or should I say a revised outlook, I don't know, for the remainder of 2025. I'm going to say up front, there is some good and some bad. And so the good, hey, let's embrace the good and let's embrace the bad. Also, while knowing, of course, the objection that I get from everyone, nobody knows what's coming, but here's my general thoughts for what we're going to see for the remainder of the year. But before we dive on into this, as always, this is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. I am not a financial advisor. And while I appreciate that so many of you are hopping in here from all over the place, you've got to hit that subscribe button. I am much more active on YouTube now. I want to be more active on YouTube. I enjoy YouTube more than other platforms that I'm on, so you'll be seeing a lot more content from me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification button as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into this. And as we're diving on into this, I just want to let you know, I'm going to start out by talking about the S&P 500. So there's some concerns with the S&P 500, and I do wonder, I took this from an account that I did repost this on my X account, but what if we copied the 2022 outcome and pasted onto 2025's pathway? And I'll tell you why I'm doing this in a second, why I actually do believe that we're going to see something like this in a second here. So if you don't know, all right, I'm actually in the way. Let me move myself out of the way real quick. I'm in the way of what 2022 looked like. We put in a lower high in the stock market. We broke an uptrend, and we started a new downtrend, putting in lower lows, lower high, lower low. And then, it didn't take all that long for us to start putting in higher lows, higher high, higher low, and we started a new uptrend. But 2022, it seems like the S&P 500 has peaked. If I were to put my money on anything, I would say that I believe with a great deal of confidence that we have reached a peak in the S&P 500, which may end up being the peak for 2025. And so here's that same fractal pasted on to where we are now. So you can see a relief rally, a move back up to about $6,000 in the S&P, and then a series of, well, that's a lower high, so lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we'll see about what happens after that. So why am I of this mindset that the S&P 500 has peaked? Well, here we are. Now, I did draw some things, lower highs, lower lows, but here you can see an uptrend that started in 2023, just straight up, and we revisit this trend line, uptrend in 2023, and then what you see over over just the last week is a break of that uptrend, and that is a clear, easy break of the uptrend, lower low. And so where do we go from here? It seems very likely to me that we are not going on our way to now putting in a higher high when we see this break of the uptrend. If you remember in December of 2024, when I sold 40% of my crypto, that was very controversial. A lot of you were gaslighting me for that. This is essentially the same thing that I was seeing, but on a smaller time frame, was a clear break of the uptrend. And so now, where do we go from here? Maybe a back test of this uptrend line. Again, a move up to $6,000 in the S&P 500. And that's exactly what happened at the end of 2021, early 2022, was we were in a significant uptrend. In the moment we broke that uptrend, I remember looking at the chart and thinking, yeah, this isn't good, but I still want to be bullish, so I'm going to be bullish. And just kind of trying to grip my way through it. And this time around, I'm not going to let that happen, and you should not as well. Okay, so the writing is on the wall. We are most likely in the S&P 500 at the early stages of a downtrend, but I do want to point out, where are we now? I mean, we are at a bottom, most likely. And so what comes next? Well, all right, sorry that this is super blurry. I took it from the chart from 2 slides ago, but I pointed an arrow as to where we are now. And so what we have short term is likely a decent move up. Let me just go back to this chart here. A decent move up in the S&P 500. So short term, next month, next couple of months, I believe there's gains to be made. This is not the time, not right now. This is not a time that I would be selling my stocks. Absolutely not. After we see an aggressive move down like this at some point, and I think some point soon, maybe even this week, we're going to see a reversal and a move up to a lower high. And around the time the S&P 500 were to get to this trend line, that's when I'll be much more interested in being a seller. Okay, so what does that mean for crypto? Well, we'll get into that. But before we get into that, I just want to show you some charts here. And this is not good news again. All right, I've drawn some lines that I very much believe for some cryptos, this is the line. If we lose this level of support, we need to start thinking in terms of an end game here. Okay, so first we have Ethereum. The level for Ethereum was the 2023 peak, and I say this with a great deal of conviction, the 2023 peak, that if we were to lose that level, we need to adjust our expectations. Now, again, right now, I see opportunity. Okay, but we lose this 2023 peak. We need to adjust our expectations, and we lost it aggressively on Sunday, March 9th. I'm making this video on Tuesday, March 11th, and we're down. My goodness, we're down more than $200 from the moment I'm making this video with Ethereum. So what do we do after that? Well, let's get into that in a second here. Same deal, Solana. This is even more of a concern. Now, this could be on a weekly candle a wick. But Solana lost on the same day, Sunday, March 9th, a level and closed for the first time in a year below this level here, this 125.97. If you look over the last year, every time that Solana went down to this level, it bounced off and it did not close below. Every time. This was a fantastic place to long Solana. And I'll be honest with you, I longed Solana at this level on Sunday and got stopped out. And now we're 2 days and counting below this key level of support, which has the potential to now be a magnet, even if we see a significant move above that. We're going to, the end game is that we're going to break down below this level and move lower eventually, over these next several months here. So short term, there can certainly be gains, and I think there will be gains. There will be. I don't think Solana would hit a new all-time high over these next couple months, but there could be a move up. But that would be kind of like a move to a lower high. I mean, look at how high we got on the day of the Trump coin launch, or shortly after the Trump coin launch, and then this aggressive downtrend. We could certainly put in a retrace. But I think it's very unlikely that Solana is going to hit a new all-time high, short term at least. We have XRP. Now XRP is actually, one of the few that if we were to say, hey, the market, we need to save us, somebody save us, I would say XRP and Bitcoin are our biggest bets right now. XRP still within this range, still looking okay. If we were to lose. If we were to go significantly below $2 with XRP, that would be a concern. But right now, XRP looks okay. Right now, Bitcoin is struggling at $80,000, but on a reversal with the S&P 500 up to 6,000, really, Bitcoin can go much higher than where it is right now. So, with all that being said, here's my projection for the rest of the year. The S&P 500 will put in a series of lower highs and lower lows for the remainder of the year. I would say that with high confidence, and I've already talked about that. So here's my next projection. Bitcoin will rally to a new all-time high on the next upward move for the S&P 500. I would say that I have this as a medium confidence scenario, where Bitcoin would get above 110, maybe 120, maybe even higher than that. And I do want an invalidation here. If we break through the 50-week moving average, that has historically been the last line of defense. If we break to the downside and see a weekly close below the 50-week moving average, which is around $75,000, then in my opinion, this isn't going to happen. We're not going to hit a new all-time high for Bitcoin. It's over for a while. I'm not saying over till 2028, but over for the rest of 2025 at least. Next, the total 2 market cap will not hit a new all-time high on this next move. And I would say that with low confidence. Why would the total 2 not hit a new all-time high on the next move? Well, look at Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum is dragging the total altcoin market cap down significantly. I don't know if it has enough in it to get up to a new all-time high or anything like that, even to get up to maybe $4,000 or $3,500. It's going to be pretty difficult. So that's going to drag down the total altcoin market cap. But, total 3, that's without Bitcoin and Ethereum. Total 3 does have the potential to hit a new all-time high. XRP is, like I said, our best hope for XRP to potentially go parabolic or something. And maybe XRP would have enough juice in it to bring total 2 up to a new all-time high. But again, this is another one that I would say is low confidence. And then my final projection, Bitcoin will bottom out at or around $30,000 by the end of 2025 or early 2026. Now, I say this with medium confidence. And I've gotten a lot of pushback with my projections on Bitcoin hitting $30,000. I believe that is in play. And I'm actually quite concerned by some of your responses. Some of you have responded saying there's no way that could ever happen. There's no way Bitcoin could go under $30,000. Well, Bitcoin, again, I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it again. Bitcoin has never truly experienced a recession. And in my opinion, we are going to enter a recession. I think it's actually very likely that we're going to enter a recession in 2025. And let me go back real quick to 2022, this 2022 chart here. Where did Bitcoin go during this box where my mouse is? It went from, at the end of 2021, about $45,000 down to $15,000. And there were a lot of people saying there's no way that would ever happen because Bitcoin has never gone below its previous cycle top. Well, guess what? In 2022, it did. It went below its previous cycle top. This time around, most people are expecting Bitcoin to go below the previous cycle top. I think most people are expecting Bitcoin to go between $50,000 and $60,000, which is below its previous cycle top. And it's also below the election day price, which Bitcoin has never gone below in its history. The previous election day price, for each cycle. And so what could happen this time around if we see something play itself out where the S&P 500 has peaked and we see a series of lower highs and lower lows, is certainly a scenario where Bitcoin would go to $30,000, or I'm sorry to say, even lower than that. Now, with all that being said, I do want to point out there is a scenario in my head to where I could see us having, instead of all of this, just a very low volume blow off top with something like the Russell 2000 and the S&P and Bitcoin and altcoins. But that would be quick. It would be a matter of weeks, and then it would just straight up be over, and we would enter into something far worse than what I'm thinking, to where potentially Bitcoin could go under $10,000. So, I mean, pick your poison, really. I would rather have this scenario play itself out and be well positioned for everything that I've been talking about, for interest rates to be lower, for quantitative easing. I would much rather have this scenario play itself out, the one that I've presented, over the low volume spike to in a very brief period of euphoria, and then everything just crashes. Stock market crashes by more than 50%, and crypto crashes by much more than that. I'd rather have this, but that's just me. I don't know. Pick your poison. I mean, not that you get to choose anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Now, we are taking every opportunity we can as members of this channel to take advantage of either direction that we're going to go. And so I have a trading journal that's available to members of this channel. I have a perspective. I have 50 different cryptocurrencies that I'm looking at. And there is an opportunity to make money on the way up and on the way down. And I am begging you, if we are going to see a series of lower highs and lower lows, I'm telling you, there's still an incredible opportunity because volatility is what matters. And there will be a lot of volatility, most likely, moving forward. And so why not take that opportunity to make money on the way down? It's not difficult. I have in the top corner here, Bit Unix. I've been really enjoying using that. You can use my code 1DAC. You can click a link in the description of this video to join that. There's also BingX as an opportunity. So you need NordVPN. You need a VPN if you're in the United States or UK to download BingX to log into BingX. I've really enjoyed using that as well. So I have funds on both platforms, and I'm trading on both platforms. Low leverage, 1x, 2x, maybe 3x longs and shorts. And you can sign up for NordVPN for 3 free months by clicking the link in the description of this video. But anyway, that is all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.